Alright, guys. Shameless on the bottom right side of the map. It's going to be the deciding match here in PiGFest Group D. Who will be the final player going into the playoffs? MARU in the top left side, going to be going for that 13 barracks after the 11 depot. Shameless is going to open with a proxy gate. A single proxy gate, though, not a double. Which is interesting. Chronos the probes behind it. Tries to make it look like a normal probe. And I imagine we'll see a pylon go up on 16 here. I think he pauses probe production after this probe to build a pylon at home, yeah? Probe comes in to harass. It is, of course, barracks into double gas. So double gas is going to be a bit safer there, but if this was a 2-gate, I actually think 2-gate can kind of wreck this. So pylon goes down at home. The reason he needs a pylon right now is he needs to build the cyber core, guys. So the probe is not going to be in position to build that on the front. Probe's going to continue harassing there. You can see that Reaper does get delayed a little bit. We are going to be seeing if this is going to be worthwhile. Cybercore starts up. Zealots on the way. Is he going to find much damage? I feel like 2-gate Stalker here does crazy damage. Especially if MARU builds his command center on the low ground. Already MARU with great discipline. You can tell he's planning. Factory, starport. He's going to build a wall off here. So if you blink up from this low ground into the main, you can't get to the siege tank. He'll put the siege tank behind it. He'll have that wall off in front of it. Really nice placement. Planning ahead for every eventuality. That being said, I think blink aggression has fallen off a lot. I think one of the big things in this matchup is Terrans actually... Honestly, I haven't seen them pressing their greed as much as I think they could. Just considering how much more committed Blink Stalker aggression is these days. 2 Zealots going to come in as well as a bunch of Stalkers. The command center hasn't even started yet. Unfortunately, he's going to show the Zealots, which means no cancel on the command center will happen. He's going to throw a depot down in the wall off. That's going to buy a bit of time. But of course, that SCV will die very quickly. And he can focus that depot down super quick. Does he go for an engineering bay behind it? He hops back on with another SCV, in fact. Oh, if he goes for a grenade, it might bounce the Zealots across this wall off. Dude, I don't know why he's not targeting the depot with both Zealots. He could have targeted this depot with both Zealots and killed it much quicker. This Zealot attacking that depot, perhaps a bit of a mistake there for Shameless. 3 SCVs do go down. Stalker, though, is going to take out the SCV building the bunker. Nice micro for Shameless. He's got 5 worker kills already. He's going to back off now. He's only lost 1 Zealot. He's got a Nexus on the way behind it. A second gas coming in. And he's building a lot of probes. This is a good start. It's good damage. Command center is still not begun for MARU. And MARU doesn't have a reactor either. So any temptation to do a 1 base all in as a response here, I think goes out the window if you don't have a reactor up yet. Reaper goes out. Stalker says, get back in your base. And the Reapers do decide to just stop and have a little bit of a cuddle on the Reaper ledge. Alright, Zealot Stalker moving back. It's going to be Robo first. Okay, interesting. I think Shameless wants to play 2-base Colossus. Shameless looked very Colossus-brained in their former series. Obviously, MARU won that 2-0 pretty decisively. I don't think Shameless looked bad in that series. He just wasn't quite prepared for how hard MARU hits his stim tank pushes. Probe's going for a bit of a crazy pull there. Man, a bit of a shame. He only just had a recall get available, and I don't like the way he's just chasing those probes. That does look a little sloppy. Obviously, he wanted to like chase the Reapers to the ledge, or that Stalker's going to trap him. But 5 probes, that is such an immense amount of damage. And he just had a recall available. Rather than that extra chrono on the probes, he could have defended that with only 1 or 2 probe losses. Much better situation. But now, MARU somewhat equalizes the economy. And I think you've really got to be chronoing probes pretty much non-stop here. Shameless. Building a prism. He's thinking about future harassment. Banshee tank marine for MARU. It's not like MARU's position's amazing either. This game has been drastically slowed down by these openings. All right, we're going to just lock this on Shameless's vision as he moves across the map for a second, guys. I'm just going to... MARU's moved further away from his camera. I'm just going to fix that, make that a little bit clearer. MARU and constantly moving around in the frame. Name a more iconic duo. This is a Cloakless Banshee, just a light harassment unit. He's got very few units that shoot up at home. Marines are going to remove that. 4 Stalker drops coming in, but the Banshee hits first. The shield battery just not quite ready. He's going to recall. I don't know what he's recalled, guys. Oh, just an Observer. Because he's thinking that's a Cloaked Banshee, but it's not. 4 Stalkers go in. Oh, he's going to get a Banshee! Shameless! Oh, really nice move. Does lose a Stalker there. but gets a Banshee. That was actually a really good execution. And Shameless, man, a lot of people going, there's no chance Shameless can't even take him map. It's going to be 3-0. People are always such believers in their favorite players. You got to realize these young dogs that qualify for things do so for good reasons. Oh my, okay, I'll stop cursing him. Shameless is bad. He's not good. He's never going to win anything. If I say that, maybe he won't fly into anywhere. I honestly feel like superstitious when I start saying something good about any player. I feel like that's the moment where the full prism dies to a Widow Mine or something. It happens too often. It can't be coincidence. Faster commentator curse is real, man. Stalker Sentry comes forward. Banshee does take out one probe. Obviously, you can sit there and take out a probe if you shoot it that many times. 10 shots. Take care of it, I believe. Is it 10 or... I think it's 10 Banshee shots, right? So there's 2 times 12, 24 damage. You're doing 4... Yeah. 4 damage a volley through the shield battery healing. Oh, no! Oh, no! Oh, damn. The full prism goes in. The Widow Mine snaps it. Maru's Widow Mine, the MVP. Guys, he only has 1 kill. The game cheating him. That Widow Mine should have 5 kills. That had 4 Stalkers inside. That's so expensive. That's probably game-ending damage. I hate to call it like that, but it probably is. It won't, not 100%, but probably. 5 barracks all in. Maru wants to keep things simple. He's like, I'm done playing macro games. Let's just do a big 2 base push. 5 barracks. And of course, Shameless just playing basic gateway units and Colossus. He's going to need to get charge up, I think, to make this army a little better. Pig, it wasn't the Widow Mine. It was the gravity that killed the Stalkers. There's no way it was the gravity. You think that thing didn't crumple when that Widow Mine hit it? I don't think it was the gravity, man. I think they went down well before that prism hit the ground. It got exploded, son. And she's still floating around this map. Marine over there as well. Chat says, the Raven still has disable for Colossus, right? Indeed it does, and he's actually built 2 of them, which is a hard counter to Shameless's style. Because remember, Shameless was very Colossus-brained in the first series. Maru noticed this, so he's going to have 4 interference matrices. Now, the only way to counter this is you can build a warp prism, and you can dodge the projectile from the interference matrix, and then drop the Colossus back out. It's very difficult to do. There was a period, maybe 2018, 2019, where Stats was doing it a lot, and a few of the other top Protoss players. I'll never forget, I explained this once, and it was crazy. It summoned Naniwa to my chat. This was like maybe in 2020, and he's like, that's not possible. I was like, oh, no, like it is. Like, it's really hard to pull off, but like, yeah, like I've done it a bunch in games as well. If you practice it a bunch, like, you know, like many hard moves. And he's like, oh, whoa, link it to me. It's never happened in a real match. I was like, what am I talking about? This is crazy. Anyway, Sentry does go down. Nice interference matrix. Maru's going to dive forwards. The Immortals and the Colossus getting jumped on. Took too much damage earlier. He doesn't have a lot of support there right now. Colossus needs to get back. Maru just overwhelming. And all your money's in these Colossus. The Ravens hard counter them. That is such a brutal build for Maru. Hats off to the opening for Shameless, but loses 5 workers to the Reaper. And then loses the full Prism. Obviously puts him in a hard spot. But you add the Ravens countering the Colossus, and it's just like, wow, well played. The answer, if you know he's doing that double Raven build, is actually to drop a Templar Archives just to get a High Templar and feed back the Ravens. It's, yeah, it's not a situation we see very much these days, but Maru digging into his old meta knowledge, back from when people actually played this 2-base Colossus build a lot more frequently. Alright guys, we're going on to Washout. Shameless in the top right. Man, it was a good opening build. I liked the choice. I love that he kind of, you know, made Maru react to some stuff. Maru had to play well there, but the Reaper counter was good. And of course, the Prism flying into the Widow Mine, very unfortunate there. Just not spotting that. It's really rough. We might get a prediction up in a second if our mods are there. We can do a quick 30-second one. Hard to keep those running for every single game, guys. It does look like Maru obviously is a big shoo-in to get through. I'm really curious to see what Shameless can do. I think I'd like to see Shameless. I wonder... So from what I'm seeing, I don't think Shameless plays a lot of Stargate or a lot of heavy charge. These are the 2 builds I haven't really seen from Shameless. Like, Shameless is playing pretty tight StarCraft, but it feels like his range is in that Colossus, either straight Colossus or blink into Colossus. And that could be awkward. Double gas coming in for MARU. There's a lot of worker micro for Shameless at the start to speed up his mining. Gonna move down to the natural. Shameless just having a bit of a scout, making sure he's not getting engineering bay blocked. No proxy barracks in the natural as well. I don't think he's actually scouting. So this is a blind 18 Nexus, 18 core build. I love this build order. It gets you your second gas really early, your Nexus up really early. And Maru's not been rushing Reaper. He's not been playing like 13 barracks, 13 gas. He's been playing 13 barracks, 14 gas. About a 5-second delay on the Reaper. And you can see he's not SAV scouting. He's going to go scout for proxies. So you can just get way ahead with this opening. He's going to build a pylon before second gas. With this build, you can go second gas before second pylon is more efficient. I guess he actually keeps... No, he's focusing on economy more. Oh, okay. I mean, I guess if you care more about minerals, which makes sense, his build makes a lot of sense. Normally, you take this for the second gas to be earlier, but he's like, no, I want to start continuing to build probes earlier. That's why. Okay, very cool. And you can see he's already got 16 on minerals here. Yeah, no, that's actually really nice. Nicely optimized build here for Shameless. Slightly different goal to what I expected. I often open Stargate in this matchup, so I was expecting a bit more of a gas focus, but you're just playing a couple Stalkers into a Twilight Council. You're not as gas starved. He does actually play Stargate. Stalker into Stargate. Okay, not bad, not bad. He's going to rally to the natural. I would imagine Oracle, but it could be a defensive. Actually, no, the way he plays, it'll be Phoenix. I've pegged Shameless as a guy who's going to be going kind of bit more defensive, bit more let the Terran overextend into you and shut it down. Because it's a Reaper Alien opening, Oracle would actually be really good. Oracle just shuts down early Reaper Hellion dives. He's got an Adept coming out, chronoing the probes like mad. You do want to chrono the natural rather than the main, because notice these probes have to run further to start mining. It is going to be 3 Reaper, 2 Hellion. See the reactor in the tech lab only now building for MARU. And there's only going to be 1 Phoenix. I don't even know if this Adept is going to be out 16 seconds till it's ready. Okay, I think it will be 2 Adepts, 1 Stalker. There is a battery, which really helps. Supply block. For just a little bit. Not a crazy supply block, but... Ooh, luckily the Adept's there. Adept's going to do some damage. Hellion trying to run in the front as well. No battery in the main. And that's a real problem. But the Adepts do take out the Hellions pretty quickly. Phoenix picks up the Hellion as well. Does he even get 1 more probe? MARU, and he does get 1 more, but 6 probes. That's nothing too crazy at all. Shameless, you immediately rebuild those. You're in a perfectly fine spot. You got Phoenix on the map. Cyclone building and a 3rd command center. MARU is going to take advantage of that, but Shameless should see it straight away. If he sees the 3rd command center, then he can basically just drop a 3rd and macro on up. We'll get to see what Shameless flexibility looks like. What is Shameless thinking when he sees that? Because I always think you got to take a 3rd pretty early, but I see a lot of players, and if Shameless is part of more like the kind of Zaun school of thought, Zaun would just take a 4th gas, go Colossus, add a Forge, take the 3rd at the exact same time he was planning, and just say, okay, I don't need to build as many gateway units. I can just build the tech earlier. Shameless looks like he kind of wants to balance both, because he's got a probe over at the 3rd, but he's taken the 4th gas. I thought he would have reordered that a bit, because like Robo Colossus timing is definitely not important defensively in this game. But he might be thinking, well, if I want to do a Colossus aggressive attack, I want them out early. So that's one of the things he has to think of. You can see the 3rd gets very delayed here. So Shameless is leaning into his tech, but he's accepting a economic deficit. He's building an Immortal right now. And he's hunting for harassment units. This is fascinating. I was really expecting Shameless to be much more directly either going to, you know, double Forge Colossus or to a 3rd Nexus. He's kind of done neither. And the Immortal strikes me as a safety unit rather than aggressive unit, but you've seen a 3rd command center, and there really is no need for safety in this game, so no doubt. Could be a little bit of nerves here for Shameless. Immortal pops out, Phoenix. Could he actually do a weird Immortal Phoenix attack? There are some crazy builds out there that one can go for. Marine's going to loop around from this side. Maru's looking for that 3rd base. He will see the probe, so he knows that there's a 3rd there. He just doesn't know how early it's built. Multiple Cyclones. Will they get a Phoenix? Ah, nope. They do get bruised. A second Immortal coming out before RoboBay. How interesting. He's been getting bullied a little bit with Blinkstalker Colossus, so he's decided a few Immortals are going to form a bit more of a solid core to his army. But I'm surprised against the 3CC. There's no Forge. You know, there's no Forge, no early third. I would always be a guy who I guess like pivots hard when I see a third command center, but I think Shameless might be a guy who just has faith in the build order that he knows. He's still building Phoenix, which is interesting. Phoenix tend to fall off in efficiency later on. But if he can find a lot of harassment damage, they could make their investment worth it. Maru's just now going double eBase. He's planning to just chill for a long time. eBay is not coming in very fast at all. He could do a 1-1 timing attack, of course, Maru, with this, but that's not going to hit till about 9 minutes at the earliest. There we go. 1-1 shields kicking in. He's trying to poke forward just to remove the map control and make Shameless a bit nervous. This is not a real push. Maru is a guy who sometimes will... No, he scans. He saw the Immortals before they moved out of it. And he turns around wisely. Few Zealots are building, but there's no charge for those. Often cutting it 3 or 4 Phoenix, going charge Forge. You know, you go charge +1 attack, Colossus. You kind of transition off of these. The scary thing here is Maru's known you're going Phoenix Colossus for a long time. He's gone 3CC. So if he goes for that second starport, which I feel like he's going to build any moment here, maybe even like lift the fact, I think he might build that starport at the latest when this factory finishes. And then I think he's going to just go for heavy Viking. It's going to be a scary timing. Oh, it's old school, baby. I didn't know anyone still plays this. He's going to play Phoenix range. Second Stargate +1 weapons on the way. Shameless is going to play mass Phoenix and try to overwhelm the Vikings. This is a style that has ridiculous results. Like, you either crush or you get crushed. It is super one-sided one way or the other. And Maru sees it. He scans. He sees the fleet beacon. He knows what he's up against. Maru has such deep meta knowledge from so many years ago. That second starport goes down in that reactor like we were talking about, so he can double up on Viking production. Is it going to be Phoenix range or straight Skytoss? Well, what Skytoss unit would you build? Carriers? Really? Oh my. I never for the life of me thought carriers. Wow. That is going to be so fascinating. Maru's usually the king of beating Skytoss. I love his Skytoss style. I think a lot of Terrans crap the bed against it. Does anyone remember there was a match where, was it King Cobra who beat Clem on 2000 atmospheres? So it would have been about 2021, that sort of era, maybe 2020. And he played Clem in the EPT weekly, and he built 2 macro Nexus in his main so he could chrono his double Cybercore upgrades faster to get like 3/3 air upgrades as fast as possible. It was like he literally built macro Nexus to have extra chrono boost. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen, and he wrecked Clem. The problem was that was a younger version of Clem who hadn't experienced Skytoss as much. Maru has beaten more Skytoss players than most players have played games. I always think of, we have in our highlight reels a game I was casting where Classic got to Skytoss and Maru nuked a maxed Skytoss army. But we'll see. Does he, you know, have the right units? He's getting ghosts. He needs a lot more Vikings, and he needs that ship weapons upgrades. Those upgrades to get a move on. Phoenix range is going to be coming in for the Phoenix that are already out. There's going to be a mass of carriers. Forge is slowly adding some ground upgrades. What an interesting game. 5th base coming in now as well. Ooh, unfortunately, doesn't find much damage there. Just 1 SCV. That's okay. Maru, similar supply. He's going to have 2-2 on the way. 3 Vikings building at a time. EMPs can be so deadly because they remove the Phoenix ability to lift off ground units. And they just do so much damage to the air units as well. Obviously, carriers can be quite annoying, but you really need competitive upgrades. Right now, +2 has not started. 5th Nexus will get denied. How many Colossus are in here? 3 Colossus. The Colossus do get protected very well in these fights because there's Phoenix and carrier interceptors in front of them. Sometimes as the Terran, you actually want to focus the Colossus down. Oh, that's a nice move. Good spready, though. Good spready. Remember, Vikings have 2 attacks. Ooh, look at that ghost. Look at that ghost. Vikings going to go for some kiting. Oh, multiple Phoenix getting shot down. It's a really good move here by Maru. He's killing all the Phoenix before the fight even starts. Oh, man. The Phoenix are getting absolutely hammered here. Massive engagement. And look, one of the carriers is already like 6 hit points, almost dead. Maru's Viking control so good. Back in the day, before they made the Viking more microable, this was much harder for Terran to deal with, but whenever they buffed the Viking, they gave it 10 more hit points up to 135, and they made it much more smooth to move and shoot, and that completely changed its effectiveness against Sky Toss. 2022, I want to say, 2023? I think it was a Balance Council patch, wasn't it, where they did that? Gateways do come in. Sky Toss was much harder to deal with before that one. A lot of gateways working their way forwards. +2 on the way. He's making 3 Stargate Phoenix. Oof. But if Maru lands the EMPs, has a lot of Marines on the ground as well. It could be really tough. +2 ship weapons on the way. In line with the +2 air attack. I think the scarier thing is the 2-2 on the ground. Feels like Maru's army can maybe just stim on through. Or he's going to start building turrets on the front. That's a Maru special. Oh, nice Viking micro. Raven does get picked off, but he's going to pick up the tanks and go for a big fight. Time Warp goes down. Fighting into Time Warp, a bit of a crazy choice for Maru. Maru engaging in Time Warp. He's getting wrecked. Wow, Shameless. Absolutely sick engagement, but there's still some Marines on the ground. Colossus will clean those up, and the siege tank, the turrets, will they be able to finish? It looks like the answer is 1 turret will finish. Surely that doesn't kill a carrier. It killed the carrier! The 6 hit point carrier just died to the missile turret. Maru, you D-bag. I love it. Beautiful play by him, man. But yeah, overall, bad fight for him. He fought in Time Warp. It was not a great idea to fight in Time Warp. You got to run away from Time Warp, and I think he felt the interceptors were launched, and he kind of had to commit, but it's actually good for Shameless, who's up on 5 bases. Yeah, he's done a great job of transferring his workers. He's got a new mothership building. Units lost tab, very similar between the two sides, and it's actually a really scary game. Look at the supply, man. Dude, that was devastating. Oh, thank you so much for the $50 to the prize pool from Fartjar. Thank you, Fartjar. Appreciate you, mate. Apologies for butchering your name. That's just all I glance. My second wonder, I see Fartjar. I know that's not what it says, but that's kind of what it says, you know? Much love, mate. Thank you for supporting the PiGFest prize pool. That goes directly to the players. Every dollar of those donations goes to the players. So thank you for supporting. Appreciate you guys. You guys are watching this one after the fact on YouTube. You want to support the channel, say thanks. Check out the Patreon. Links down below in the description. Hats off to Shameless, guys. I told you Shameless was a scary player and could take a map or two, even though he's not favored at all to win the series. And obviously on paper, he's probably meant to lose 3-0 to the best Terran of all time. He's looking really good. I love this weird style. Maru's usually the master of taking down Skytoss, but here we go. Interceptors get launched. Phoenix go in front. 1 carrier goes down very quickly. Good focus fire. How many Colossus are left? There's still 3 Colossus in here. Viking count's so scary. If he had Psystorm, maybe. Without Psystorm, he needs to rely on these Stalkers now. I think this is so good, the kiting of those Vikings. Turrets trying to build down south. Colossus kill a few of those. More Stargates are building. At this point, I think you could pivot Storm, right? Storm Tempest. Is that a viable transition from here? It's a very different army. Carrier's getting picked off. Colossus gets picked off. This is always the scary thing. Oh, he's going to recall! And he's going to launch all of his intercepts on the command center, which means engaging into that's going to be hard. You got to clump the carriers, though. So when the Vikings engage, they all throw the interceptors at once, but no. Maru waits for the interceptors to get back inside before re-engaging, grabs 1 carrier, 2 carriers down. He's got that critical mass of Vikings. 23 Vikings with +2. They're one-shotting the carriers. The Phoenix going forward. Time Warp goes forward. This time, Maru avoids the Time Warp, kites away. And it's Shameless who needs to get out of here. He's swapping a Zealot Stalker Phoenix. None of these units scale well to late game. And I feel like he's kind of in a position where Maru's Viking efficiency is getting out of control. Mothership's going to go down. She does take 2 volleys. The Stalker Zealot's trying to fight. There's no Guardian Shield. And that is a blitzing engagement. Shameless crushed the previous one. But that is always a tough situation. You can hard swap ground off of that potentially. You can try to play into Storm Tempest and that sort of stuff and get cannon battery, but it's just so tough there because you've only got +2. He's got 3-3 and +2 air. Like the only thing that's going to beat him on the ground is like Disruptor Storm, right? Things that don't care about upgrades, and it's just really hard to deal with a 3-3 bio on the ground. Really nice play for Maru, but Shameless putting him in some deep waters. All right, guys. Maru up 2-0 now as we go into Rorschach. His opponent, I gotta say, good point from chat. They said, ooh, I think Shameless should have pushed after winning that fight. I think you guys are correct. I think they should have pushed in there and gone for that as quickly as possible. In hindsight's 2020, of course, we knew how big the supply difference was. Shameless did not, but if Shameless managed to push with just maybe one more round of units to reinforce and then just go, might have been able to get in there when the supply was still crazy. And once MARU hits that count where he can one-shot the capital ships, it's a completely different game. I did think it was weird that Shameless spotted the third command center and didn't play greedier, but I think in hindsight, looking at how his build functions, I think that build is kind of hard to adapt, right? Like, could he have taken an earlier third and then kind of done the same thing? Probably. But who knows? MARU might have sensed it. Like, he was very good at scanning all game, and he might have just done like a weird push out with like 2 Cyclones, 2 tanks, a couple of unupgraded bio units, a Raven, a couple Vikings. Barracks double gas yet again. Is it just me or does Shameless camera angle kind of make him look like the siege tank portrait? Oh my god, he does! Yes! Yes! Oh my god, that's so funny. The players have changed colors again. That's what they do, guys. Sorry, it's impossible to keep these players on the same colors. I keep forgetting to deputize someone and making that their job. This is a 1-base opening. It's going to be a proxy Oracle into Void Ray, I believe, guys. Very aggressive build. Alright, guys. Cybercore is not quite done. It'll be a little while till he builds this, the Stargate. MARU is going to go scout for proxies. He's going to go check the gold base, potentially. Oh... Thinking about gold base, I feel like proxy Stargate down here is not uncommon on this map. Stargate into Adept. It's a very scary build order, man. You can even build batteries here and heal a Void Ray that's like in range of the Terran production. We'll see if Shameless full sends it like that or if it's just a harassment opening. Wait, he chrono boosted the Adept. Oh, that I was not expecting. I thought he'd chrono the Stargate for sure. Oh, he's definitely playing Void Rays. I do think pylon there might be a bit nicer, but I guess he doesn't want it to be too close. Needs the pylon anyway for production. Adept's going to come out, intercept the Reaper, and this way he doesn't see no Nexus. So he might just be like, yeah, that's a normal build. No worries. Cancel the Shade. You should cancel the Shade, I believe, here. We're going home. No, I mean, he has another Adept coming anyway, so maybe he doesn't care. Void Ray is on the way. He's already building 2 batteries on the front. Oh, the Reaper's going to jump up here. He's going to see it. He's going to see it, and he does. He sees the shield batteries on the way. MARU, he's building Reaper Hellion. None of these units shoot up. He cancels the command center. He builds the starport. He's got to put 6 workers on gas right now. Hellion and Reaper trying to damage the Adept as much as they can. He's going to do some good damage. The Adept does go down. Very nicely done. He can try to counterattack with these units because he knows they're not going to do anything to defend a Void Ray. He's going to try and build a bunker. Is it too late? The Void Ray is already floating over here with ill intent on its mind. There is nothing that shoots up in this Terran base. And the bunker's going to go down. The starport SCV should be the next target, but he's being passive. He's being afraid. He's got to go for those Marines. He's going to try and take out the bunker next. I think the SCV on the starport's actually a higher priority than the SCV on the bunker. Look at that, he's going for these units back at home. The Adept needs to pull back to the shield battery. If he loses the Adept, this could be game over. But wait, he's got a second Adept there. Never mind, I'm a dum-dum. He just clicked it in the wrong direction, but it does end up healing. He's okay, he's defended. Shameless going down 3-0. Hell no! He's got a second Void Ray. He's killed so many SCVs here. The Void Ray doing crazy damage. The Cyclone coming in could cause him big trouble, though. There's only 1 Marine shooting him, but with the Cyclone there and now Vikings coming, it could be big. He's going to double Prismatic Align. Let's see what he can do, guys. The Void Ray is going to try and take care of that bunker, that Cyclone. He could change targets to the Cyclone or the Viking. Really powerful units. The double Void Ray there cancels the Prismatic Alignment. Thinks about going back in. Third Void Ray is almost here, and he's got a Fleet Beacon on the way. It's going to be 1 base Tempest to follow this up, which is such a nice play. MARU will need to put his starport on the reactor and start pumping Vikings 2 at a time. He's only on 19 workers, and he's only on 1 base. You see, he just pulled a guy off gas to build a depot. He is very broke right now. MARU is not rich. It's actually Shameless with a better income. That being said, are the Adepts still at home? The Adepts are going to shade backwards, which is a good call. Meanwhile, the Reaper Hellion is going to try to come in here and depower this Stargate, which is a really cute move, man. Void Ray is trying to go forwards. The Adepts have shaded home. Dude, the Reaper Hellion is actually potentially going to force big mistakes. Shameless is like going, wait a second, can I pull back with my Void Rays? I don't think I can. But he actually gets depowered on the Stargate, which means Tempest can't build right now. This is crazy. Such a good play by Maru. Those Reapers and Hellions doing really, really well. Ooh, Starport is not on the reactor just yet, man. He needs to double produce Vikings. He's trying to go Cyclones with Magfield, which is very dicey. I would say bad against Tempest, but the delay on the Tempest might save him. That delay on the Tempest doing pretty well. Void Rays dancing in and out. He's going to get one. One Cyclone goes down. Can he get a Viking or two? One Void Ray falls. But a bunch of these Vikings go down. Oh, he's out of battery healing, though. If he loses it, it's a real problem. Then he could lose everything here. The drop's going to try and chase him, guys. He's going to drop Marines on the low ground. The Cyclones are there. They lock on. The Void Ray needs to get away. The Tempest's going to start to work on this, but it does not one-shot these Marines, remember. It does take 2 shots to kill them. The batteries are going to get depowered. And Maru with a heroic hold here. I can't believe he's pushing this back. I can't believe he's not dead. Somebody call Fabio. I can't believe it's not Butter. I can't believe Darren's alive. Maru, the king. Who needs an economy? He took so much damage. But the Reaper Hellion depowering the Stargate, distracting, keeping 4 Adepts at home. Shameless, not able to get through the backup bunker. The Tempest gets chased away. The Healing Shrine! The Healing Shrine! Maru uses the Healing Shrine, and he does get the 3-0. If this was just about anybody else, he, I think, would have dropped... Shameless would have taken a few maps here. But Maru is just built different, and he wins yet another series. Thank you so much. GG, well played, Maru. Congrats. Some longer games, some funny games there. How do you feel about your TVP right now? You looked very dominant.
전 제가 많이 안 해봐가지고 조금 힘들어 보이긴 하는데 서로 할 만한 것 같아요, 디프저도.
So about TVP, I actually didn't play a lot of TVP, but like in my opinion, the current TVP, I think it's really doable for both sides.
Sorry, could you repeat that last bit?
It's doable for both, you know.
Oh, it's
Terran
doable.
and Protoss. Yeah.
Right. Okay, cool. Yeah, it definitely seems like there's a bunch of different interesting strategies available. In that Skytoss game there, I'm curious, when he saw the fleet beacon, did he expect like Mass Phoenix, Carriers, or Tempest? Did he know exactly what he was up against, or was he confused?
불사조를 계속 뽑길래 어느 정도 예상하긴 해가지고 스카이토스 상대하는 게 조금 쉬워서 그냥 바이킹 미리 모았던 것 같습니다.
Since I saw a lot of Phoenix from Shameless, I already expected he would play those kind of Sky Protoss. And honestly, playing versus those kind of Sky Protoss is actually easy for me. So, yeah.
Well, I thought so, because I've seen you beat so many Skytoss players before, but the first fight didn't seem to go so well for you. What went wrong in the first big battle?
제가 막 싸워도 이길 줄 알고 너무 막 싸운 감이 있지 않나 싶어요. 그냥 바이킹 짤짤이 쳤으면은 거기서 끝났을 것 같습니다.
I thought I was very ahead, so I thought I could be a bit sloppy, you know, just a move, but I didn't, and then it went wrong. But if I microed well, you know, still, then shouldn't run away, I would beat easily, and at that time I thought it would be done by then.
All right, gotta respect the army a little bit more. Nice. It was interesting because you went for a very old double Raven build in game 1 in the rematch. Did you study Shameless's play and just think, oh, he really loves Colossus? Did you scout something in that game? What made you so confident? Because I haven't seen that play in quite a few years.
상대가 선 로고 하기도 했고 뭐 거신 할 것 같아가지고 생각해 놨었는데 거신 봐가지고 했던 것 같습니다.
So he did play the Robo first, except the Blink Stalker. So I thought the double Raven strategy would be, you know, effective here. After I saw the Colossus, I decided to play that, and then yeah, it worked out.
Fantastic. Well, it went really well. It was a really good final series. Let's rewind a little bit to the series with Rainer. I think game one was obviously very good. You went very greedy and got it to a very, very good position. Battle cruises is something many players aren't brave enough to play. So what inspired you to play battle cruises in game one against Rainer?
원래 메카닉을 하려 했는데 제가 적으로 손 풀 때 상당히 까다롭더라고요. 그래서 했습니다.
혹시 뭐 누구랑 했는지도 알 수 있나요? 물어볼 것 같은데.
레더 했습니다.
So yeah, I actually prepared the mech for first set, right? But I was warming up with the Zerg in just leather. But some people played that kind of the battle cruiser play. So I thought I could use this for my match. So I used it, and it worked out.
Nice. So just copying what worked on the ladder, what was annoying to play against on the ladder. I love it. Just taking inspiration where you see it. It worked really well. So I love to see it. And I actually said when I started commentating, like, oh, I wonder if it's battle cruisers or banshees. And I immediately was like, oh, it's got to be banshees. No one plays battle cruisers anymore. And I was very happy. So that was very cool strategy. In game two, I think we want to talk about that one because I think this was the one game where you tried to play bio, and it felt like Rainer had this really clever +1 armor, the Carapace Zergling rush that caught you off guard. Do you think you were just too far behind after that, or was there something else you would change if you could go back to try and recover from that position?
일단 레이너 선수가 선풀하면 올인을 많이 해가지고 무식을 되게 많이 해서 그런 걸 생각 못해서 링 찌르기 왔을 때 방위력 돼 있길래 너무 놀랬어가지고 그 이후에는 그냥 제가 분리했어서 마인으로 털면서 운영해보자 했는데 안 됐던 것 같습니다.
When Rainer plays the planning for first, he normally does some kind of all-in or the aggressive strategy. So I was expecting some kind of that, but when I saw the Zergling has the +1 armor upgrade, I thought I'd be done. So even after that, I was already so behind and tried to recover from with the Widow Mine drops and then try to beat Turtle, but it didn't work out because I was super behind.
That's interesting. I think that sums up that game quite well. A curious question just about that matchup in general. How do you feel about the map pool this season for Terran versus Zerg? Compared to last season, is it better or worse for Terran?
이번 시즌 맵이 뭐였죠?
What was the previous season? I actually don't remember at all.
We adapt so quickly as StarCraft players. Well, there was no 4-player maps, right? Or not very many of them anyway, I don't think. So I even forget as well. I can bring them up, but well, I guess let's just ask about the big 4-player maps because I think that's the main difference, the giant maps.
저는 4인용 별로 안 좋아해가지고 변수가 너무 많은 것 같아서 그냥 저번 시즌이 더 나을 것 같습니다.
Yeah, thinking of the 4 players, the spawn maps, like big maps, I personally don't really prepare those kind of maps because there are a lot of things to think and care to play because lots of strategies possible. So I don't really like the big maps, and because of that, I decided to prepare the previous season maps more than current one.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, it's definitely quite different because I think in the previous map pool, the biggest map we had was Old Republic, and we had a few maps which were quite blocked off, like Celestial Enclave and these sort of ones. But otherwise, it was a lot of more mid-sized maps: Winter Madness, Ruby Rock, and I think Mothership was the only kind of really weird out there map with 3-player spawns. So big change this season, and interesting to hear that. Okay, so TVP looked pretty good. TVZ looked pretty good. In the playoffs, you are now going through in second place. That means you're going to be facing someone who you've done well against in the past, Shin. What are your thoughts on facing off against Shin? Since he's given you some really tough matches over the last 6 months, Do you think you'll still get through easily, or do you think it's going to be a challenge?
저번보다는 힘들 것 같고 솔직히 질 것 같아가지고 최대한 머리 짜내서 빌드 생각해봐야 될 것 같습니다.
So yeah, it'll be a tough matchup. I didn't really think it would be as easy as it used to be in the past, you know. And of course, I try my best to prepare some strategy and tactics to beat Shin, but to be honest, I think I would be the one who lose in the matchup. But I will try my best.
Okay, well, I look forward to the games. It should be really fun. And thank you so much for some awesome games once again, Maru. Love to see the battle cruisers, love to see the play. Great hold in the final game. GG, well played, and look forward to seeing you in the playoffs next week.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much. Thank you, Crank, for the translation as well.
Thank
감사합니다.
you.
Thank you.
감사합니다.